Tonight on this episode of SUTV Sports, we recap the second round of the NHL and NBA playoffs. And the NFL season is just 1 week away. All that and more right here on SUTV News. The start of a new NFL season is finally upon us. This Thursday, the NFL season is set to kick off with the Houston Texans facing the defending champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson signed a $160 million contract extension this past week, while the Kansas City Chiefs begin the long road towards winning back-to-back championships. Other notable games this weekend include Tom Brady and the Buccaneers traveling to New Orleans to play the Saints, and the Steelers taking on the Giants. Pittsburgh quarterback Ben Roethlisberger missed most of last season with an elbow injury. He will make his highly anticipated return a week from tonight. The second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs finished up this past weekend, and now players are getting ready for conference finals. SUTV's Tyler Danson has more.
NHL is officially getting in the third round of the playoffs, and the 4 remaining teams are just 8 wins away from winning the ultimate prize, the Stanley Cup. All 4 teams who led their second round series 3-1 ended up winning the series in the end and ended up in the conference finals. The matchups are as such. In the Eastern Conference, the Tampa Bay Lightning will play the underdogs, the New York Islanders. Out in the West, the Dallas Stars are taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. Come back next week for an update on the conference finals and more. From SUTV Sports, I'm Tyler Danson.
Game 1 between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New York Islanders will take place tonight on NBCSN. Puck drop is at 8 p.m. The famous U.S. Open in tennis is currently being played, and a bizarre moment happened for one of the best players in the world. The world's top tennis player has been disqualified from the U.S. Open. Serbian tennis champ Novak Djokovic was defaulted from the tournament after he struck a ball that hit a lineswoman on Sunday. Djokovic was not aiming at anyone in particular, but the impact of the hit to the lineswoman made her fall to the ground. Lengthy discussions followed between tournament officials, Djokovic, and the referee before he was officially defaulted. The United States Tennis Association, or USTA, issued a statement on Sunday afternoon, citing the Grand Slam rulebook and stating that Djokovic's, quote, actions of intentionally hitting a ball dangerously or recklessly within the court or hitting a ball with negligent disregard of the consequences led to his disqualification. Sadly, the MLB lost 2 Hall of Famers this weekend. Former Mets legend Tom Seaver passed on Saturday due to complications from dementia and COVID-19 at the age of 75. Known as Tom Terrific, Seaver was part of the 1969 Miracle Mets that helped the New York team get their first ever World Series title. The pitcher's 20-year-long career with the MLB gave him 311 total wins and a 2.86 batting average. And on Sunday, we also lost to former Chicago Cubs and St. Louis Cardinals left fielder Lou Brock. Brock holds the honor of being one of only 32 people to ever get 3,000 hits and the MLB, and also currently holds the record for the second most stolen bases. Lou Brock was 81. The Mets, Cubs, and Cardinals all posted tributes to Seaver and Brock on social media before their games this weekend and sent condolences to their families. NASCAR went retro this past weekend at the Darlington Raceway in South Carolina. SUTV's Jacob Pitts has more.
Throwback Weekend at Darlington Raceway, a tradition started back in 2015. Teams pull out all of the stops, throwback schemes honoring the greats from NASCAR's past. There you see some Jimmy Johnson throwback schemes in his final season, as well as some others. We start in the final laps of the Xfinity Series race. Ross Chastain in the 10 looking for his first win on the season. Denny Hamlin in the 54 in a one-off event looking to get the flag. Here they come off turn 2, side by side for the win, coming to the white flag. Hamlin sends it in up the inside, drives it in too hard, he hits the wall. Chastain hits the wall, runs into the back of Hamlin and spins. Brandon Jones in the 19 roars around the bottom, passes them both, and takes the white flag. He'll come around and win this race in a remarkable finish, his 4th win of his career, 3rd on the year, his first win coming back in Kansas in the fall of last year. Now on to the Cup race from Sunday night, which was the complete opposite of Saturday's thriller. However, the race picked up in the last 20 laps, also fighting for the win. It's between those two cars right there, the 9 and the 19. 15 laps to go. Martin Truex Jr. in the 19 sends it in on the bottom of Chase Elliott in the 9. Can't quite clear him. They both go hard into the outside wall. Truex would pit from the lead due to the damage. Chase Elliott would fall through the field, leading to Kevin Harvick picking up his 8th win on the season, holding off a late charge by the 3 of Austin Dillon. With this win, Harvick ties his career high in wins in a single season, which he set back in 2018. He also locks himself into the next round of the playoffs, leaving just 11 spots free for the remaining 15 drivers to fight over next week at Richmond and in 2 weeks at Bristol. For SUTV News, I'm Jacob Hitz.
NASCAR heads to Richmond Raceway this week with the Truck Series running Thursday night, the Xfinity Series Friday night, and the Cup Series on Saturday night. The NBA semifinals are heating up. SUTV's Jacob Hitz has more.
8 teams left fighting to keep their championship hopes alive. Let's begin on Saturday with the Toronto Raptors and the Boston Celtics. Celtics lead the series 2-1, but the Raptors sure didn't play like it. Raptors held the lead for most of the game with Pascal Siakam and Kyle Lowry leading the charge. However, the Celtics kept it close with help from 24 points from Jason Tatum. 30 seconds left in the game, Raptors lead by 5, and Tatum gets called for an offensive foul, sending the Raptors to the line and allowing them to clinch the win, 100-93, tying the series at 2. On to the Nuggets and Clippers. Clippers lead the series 1-0, and the Nuggets look to recover, and they do that and more. Nuggets would go on to dominate the Clippers 110-101, with Jamal Murray's 27 points and Nikola Jokic's 26 points to lead the team. The Clippers saw Paul George lead the team with 22 points, the only one to reach 20 points for them. Now on to Sunday's games. We begin with the Milwaukee Bucks and the Miami Heat. The Heat have stunned the Bucks so far, leading the series 3-0. Giannis Antetokounmpo gets hurt in the second quarter, re-injuring his ankle. He would not return for the rest of the game. The Heat and the Bucks keep it close all the way through, sending the game to overtime, tied at 107. Bucks would get the dub in overtime after a pass with 2 seconds to go gets broken up. Final score 118-115. Now the LA Lakers and the Houston Rockets. Houston leads the series 1-0. The Lakers pulled out to a 67-51 lead at halftime. However, Houston's 41-point third quarter, led by James Harden, allowed the Rockets to pull in close. However, the Lakers pulled back ahead in the fourth quarter, winning the game 117-109 with 34 points from Anthony Davis and 28 more from LeBron James. For SUTV News, I'm Jacob Hitz.
Tonight, the games continue with the Celtics and Raptors playing at 6:30 Eastern Time and the Clippers and Nuggets playing at 9 Eastern Time, both games on TNT. And finally, tonight, the 146th running of the Kentucky Derby took place this past weekend, and it was quite different than previous years. The stadium was empty and quiet throughout the day, but that did not stop the horses from running to victory. Tiz the Law, who was the favorite to win the race, was denied by Authentic, who won the Derby and shot down any chance at Tiz the Law winning the Triple Crown. For Authentic's jockey, John Velasquez, this was his 3rd win at the Kentucky Derby. And that would be it for this week's episode of SUTV Sports. I'm Mackenzie Mitchell. Don't forget to follow SUTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SUTV News, and check out our website at sutvnews.org. Have a great week, everyone.